What's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you 5 things that you didn't know about your Focus ST, ranging from some extremely basic things to also some more complicated things that require a little bit more work. Starting on the interior, we're going to look at the display here, and this is only for pre-facelift owners with My Ford Touch, which is also Sync 2, which looks like this, which is the 2013 and 2014 Focus STs. If you have a 2015 to 2018 Focus ST, you have Sync 3 and you cannot do a custom background. So that's something cool that pre-facelift owners get that's cooler than facelift owners. And the way you do it, I actually have a video on how to do this more in depth, but you go into settings, display, get a USB drive, plug it in underneath the center console here, and you can see edit wallpaper. You put your wallpapers on that USB drive, plug it in, and they will show up here. You can see I've got a Ford logo, an ST with carbon fiber logo, there's a Cobb logo, regular carbon fiber, and then I have various pictures of my car on here to put as my wallpaper. You can see right now there's my car as my wallpaper. But if you want to know how to do that, there's a few tricks you need to know on the right size image and whatnot, and that is covered in my video on how to do that. But that is a cool feature you may not know about. On to something that is a little bit more simple, is that if you open your glove box, you will notice it has right here is a card slot to keep your insurance card. I have a AAA card in there. Never even used that, really didn't even know I had that. But it has this little card holder there that you can put cards in. And then there's also this little clip, which I keep a tire pressure gauge in. You could also keep a pin or anything else of that similar shape there. And it clips it in, keeps it from rattling around in your glove box. And it's just a neat little feature that is included in the glove box that you may not have known about. The next thing has to do with your traction control. You can see I have the ESC off button here, which if you just press that once, you will see the screen says sport mode, which you'll see there. You have the traction control off button, but there is no indicator right here that says I, and that basically puts it in, it turns traction control off a little bit. It doesn't turn it completely off. The thing with this is these cars have torque vectoring, which means on each side of the car, when turning the brakes on the left side of the car, when turning left, will kind of brake a little bit, and it'll help rotate the car when slowing down the wheels on the left side. And leaving this on here leaves the torque vectoring on when you just press the ESC off button once, and that just puts it in sport mode. So it will still have a little bit of traction control that kicks in, but it just kind of lessens it than if it was just off. Now if you want to turn your traction control completely off, take this button here and hold it, and then you will see hold to switch ESC off, and it goes for 5 seconds there. And then it says electronic stability control off, and then you will see that the traction control off light lights up there, but also in the middle this little eye information indicator turns on right there. That's letting you know that it is completely off. So you can see with that light and that light on, that means it's completely off. But if I were to go back to normal and then just press the button once, it puts it in sport mode, and you can see there's just the traction control light off there. So that's a little bit on how the traction control works if you didn't know. The next trick we're going to look at is actually under the hood with the intake. Now this isn't necessarily a feature that Ford included from the factory, but it is just something to know, and it is free. So you can see there's this intake box here. I have a Cobb filter. The factory filter will look a little bit different, but you can see this is the factory air box actually, and I have just cut off this whole section here and added this weather stripping right here, and it pretty much is a free intake. Obviously I've modified that elbow in this here, but if you want a little bit more turbo noise out of your factory intake, you can actually just remove this whole cover completely and just leave it open if you'd like, and you'll get a little bit more turbo spool and blow off noise. But if you want to go the extra step, you can go ahead and cut the cover and then add this weather stripping and kind of make a little DIY cold air intake. And this seals up against the hood to get the colder air from over here and seal out all this hot air coming from the engine. So that's just something you may not have known that you can do to get a little bit more turbo noise out of your car if that's your thing. Now this last thing is a little bit more complicated. Not everyone might be interested in doing this, but if you are interested in squeezing the absolute most performance you can out of your Focus ST's stock turbo, you can actually tighten the factory wastegate to get a little bit more boost out of your car, which it is pretty complicated. I don't have a video on it, but it is down back behind the engine. I did it from underneath. There's a heat shield back there. You got to remove the heat shield, and there's this clip. You pop the clip off of the wastegate. There's these 2 bolts, and you'll loosen the bolts completely and go as far as you can go, and then tighten the bolts back down, put the clip back on, and then essentially what that does is tighten the factory wastegate a little bit, and you can get 2 or 3 more PSI of boost out of your stock turbo. And never do this if your car is not being tuned. Only do this under a professional tuner. I did this before I had my car tuned by JST. I got a revision, and it squeezes a little bit more boost out of the car, and maybe about 5 horsepower or so, which is definitely worth it if you're really trying to maximize the stock turbo. And it is free, just requires a little bit of work and getting your hands dirty, and you get free horsepower. So I don't know what's not to like about that. But that is the 5th thing for this video. So that pretty much wraps it up. Please leave a like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Nickjoenap, the same as my channel name. And stay tuned, because I do have a few more tips that I will share with you in another video. Just got to think of some more, and if you guys are interested, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll make another video like this, trying to let you know of all of the little things I have learned owning my ST for the past few years. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.